The temperature is still 88 degrees, man. Yeah. I was sitting here connecting to my nephew, Jordan. And I was playing some video games, connecting to family and stuff, in close proximity. And this song came into my head that I used to listen to when I was a kid. And very, quote, patriotic indoctrination. And if you made a mess of thinking, he's a Lincoln of the day. If you're needing for some muscle, if you're heading for a tussle, it's his muscle all the way. If you need a handsome fella, so the ladies' hearts can throb, there's a Yankee Doodle dandy, always handy for the job. Johnny Freedom, Johnny Freedom, you can read him on each page of history. He's the spirit of America. And I see what the algorithm is doing, the economic algorithm for class warfare and genocide, that officer's wife in Sierra Vista. You're talking about class warfare, man. Class warfare has been on you for the last probably 10,000 years, whether you'll have it or not, And used to stand up for the Lord's Prayer, so you don't have to have a husband that commits espionage and mass murder over money and then has his science geeks collect all the evidence and then put it on a quantum computing for comparison and contrast. One of these kids is not like the other. Some of these kids are kind of the same. Can you guess which kid is not like the other? And tell me before my song is done. Now my song is done. It's too late. Turn back now. I believe you've fallen in love. So I'm sitting there connecting to Jordo, and I'm getting this song in my head. And Aggies, oh Aggies, he'll send back the cry, we're here to do or die. Aggies, oh Aggies. Tribalism is illusion, and I'll tell you why. Well, because there's no God but God, and God's not begotten, nor is God begotten. God always is, always has been, and always will be. That's what God means. So you can't put it in the dictionary or on the phone and say God means. No, you cannot have multiple meanings. Just because you say a word can be used to lie doesn't mean it can be used to lie. Okay? When we tell you the truth about the word God and then prove it to you, you can't still use it with technology for philanthropy, for genocide. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it says in there that they can't do it on their own works. It's only the immaculate faith and sacrifice. But Jesus tells me I'm not required to die for them. I'm required to stand up for the truth of Jesus and live his truth. And then he gave me Suzuki, and Suzuki said, survive, stop, eliminate abuse, stop and eliminate abuse, and then recover. And so I can't sit there and say, oh, I'm going to die, they're going to kill me. I will die when I'm ready to die. And I said 104, maybe more. Okay? Who's milking this duck? Like my dad always used to say to my mom when she was driving, and she would backseat drive. Who's milking this duck? Okay? Aggies, oh Aggies, tribalism's for dumb shits. Go drink beer and get the shits, from lettuce in Mexico or from eggs from Texas and Arkansas and other places. When you do things right, you'll have things more local. You'll have a cleaner environment. You won't be doing things hastily because you'll have lettuce, with pollution and shit and raw sewage, nearby. Whoa, mercy, mercy me. Oh, life ain't what it used to be. It is. It's always been that way. I've told to people when, Harold Melvin Blue Man, he was a cancer and he had kind of that hopeful dream thing. Wake up everybody, no more sleep. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war, and poverty. It has gotten more complicated and more crowded as far as Homo sapiens and Homo erectus go. But Lucifer's always been an asshole, and Adam's always been the spirit of our eternal faithful Father who gives us faith in the glory of God, and the rest of you need not bother. Quit dissing on Adam. Oh, Adam did this and Adam do that. And have you stood up for the Lord's Prayer? And are you the heart of the Immaculate Heart of Jesus? A candle brought in the second row, second aisle, Fiesta Foods, where we use Western Union to resupply little girls for the sex slave trade, and this is only $2. You pray to that, and then you'll pray to your imagination for you to be me and me to be you, and I'll pay for you. I'll pay for your sin. It's not going to happen. That's Virgin of Guadalupe. Okay, Hidalgo? No, that's a treaty. Guadalupe Hidalgo. Okay, but so how we Indians, how we Native Americans are about signing treaties. When we sign a paper or something. So guys, So yeah, he's right. No, I don't expect you guys to help at all. I expect to reach out my hand to you, and I don't have faith in all you do because I'm not Joe Jackson trying to beat the hell out of my kids to pay my bills because everybody's got to be a music star. Yeah. If you believe in forever, then life is just a one-night stand. If there's a rock and roll heaven, then you know they got a hell of a band. There's a spotlight waiting. I can't do Bobby Hatley. I can do Bill Medley a little better than Bobby Hadley. Not do either one of them. I mean, try to mimic them. Yeah. If you believe in forever, then life is just a one-night stand. If there's a rock and roll heaven, then you know they've got a hell of a band. Now sing Ebb-Tide. Like the tide rushes in. Also, Lenny Welch does a very good job with Ebb-Tide also. But, but yeah, so it's me. I don't expect any of you to help at all. None whatsoever. I expect you to be hats off to Johnny Fried. He's our country. He's the spirit of America, our country's pride and joy. And I expect a bunch of PhDs to be paraded before me with princesses on parade, going, how to survive a narcissist, the most evilness of the narcissist, the 10 things a narcissist will do before they evilly try to cut your balls off and feed them to your cat. That one of the things a narcissist will do before taking a 10-pound axe and cutting off his dreadlocks and putting it through your daddy's forehead. Why did you do the 10-pound axe? I thought you said you'd just rather take a 10-pound axe and put it for your daddy's forehead so you could get cut off your dreads and start working for him. If you don't have to work for him, just take the axe, put it through there, and then go get rid of the body. Right, and then you'll be on Dateline in 2020, and the little brown girl will smile with David Mayer and say, come back next week to see who gets killed because we're still asking for money to live here. Y'all come back now, you hear? Now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They'd like to thank you all for finally dropping in. We'll come back next week. He's been helping hospitality of our hospitality. What hospitality? You don't live the Lord's Prayer. You won't live the Lord's Prayer. I have to get your technology to understand the Lord's Prayer so I can get the technology to help us live the Lord's Prayer. Hey, it's him. He's the reason why we get into the kingdom of heaven. I understand. I completely and utterly and thoroughly understand. I've come to terms with that fact. And it sure seems to be a factoid. What's another factoid? I don't know. Scriptwriters for Big Bang Theory? Could you explain it to us? It's most likely happening. It's not going to happen. It is happening. I think even when it does finally happen, and even if you guys all sit there and trend to our Lord's Prayer, Messiah, está aquí hoy, 0.6 miles north of San Ysidro, I still think I did all the work. You guys are just afraid technology is going to kill you. Because I'm afraid that my robots is going to kill me. I'm Elon Musk, and I support this message. Gronk, help me. Or it's Gork, help you. Is it Gronk or Grok? I don't know. Hey, catch touchdowns from Tom Brady. Marketing. So I think no matter what, it's too late. I think I did all the work. It's too late. Oh, na. Hey, I'm my own Zion. Carol. I know. Isn't she lovely? Made from love. You're so funny. You're the best girlfriend I've ever had. I know. Okay, that's funny. No, really, she is. Because the only women she's touched are the women I was having sex with and made a promise to only have sex with them. And then when the women went and fucked other guys because they were jealous assholes, I had to be world leader pretend and make love to myself with my hand to pretend to be my wife that made wedding vows to me, but she didn't hold up to, we took a vow to be ever true. I lived up to mine. Did you? Someone saw me with your old lover. Baby, my love is on the line. Baby, don't change your mind. Don't change it. Be strong and leave your past in the behind. Don't look for your car keys in your ass. And don't suck dick like you're looking for your car keys. Tyler Sheridan's a dumbass. And he knows it. I don't think he does. I don't think anybody trying to get a gig on a Tyler Sheridan propaganda toolbag show has a clue of what an ass Tyler Sheridan really is. And I don't think I can get him to understand it if he watched this video an hour from now. He's just jealous. I'm just jealous because you're a dumbass and I try to talk you into staying up for the Lord's Prayer, and if you know who I am and you won't, and you're just like all the rest of these pussy handbag person, you're a cartoon zebra drinking a Red Bull, going through a river in Africa, making a handbag out of an alligator. Yeah, and that rooster tried to make me his bitch. No, he pissed me off though, little fucker. Because Dad was nice to him, and I came out, was looking for the cats to see how they were, and he come up in front of me. I was like, seriously, you must be a marine rooster. You must be cock-a-doodle-doo or some rock-a-doodle or something, huh? Little fucker. You're lucky I'm nice. There's no such thing as like, yeah, it's just, we're just collecting the evidence. Like the kid at the library, you're going to look like the queen of the world, and they're all going to look like the queen of the damned, and Lestat, and Louis, and Rice is using my imagination. It's too late for that. It's already happened. It's the Hate Obama black bus, parked next to the two lions with the time capsules, with the statue of Mayor Johnson. It's like, guys, just tear down all the statues, start living the Lord's Prayer, and you don't have to go to a park to play in the grass because you'll have nice ecosystem near your own house. Yeah, that's built for you by a village that loves you. A village of idiots. I live in Las Cruces, New Mexico, right? Yeah. I'm the greatest good shepherd in a village of idiots. Wow. Where's your village idiot? The more money and power they have in Las Cruces, the bigger the idiot. Okay. And the rest of us are all walking around going, they're all idiots. I know. Just hang in there. Okay. I love you too. Keep your head up. Okay. Like the one kid that got shot in the head and was wearing his hat over it where he had the big scar from getting shot at in the head. And I told him, stay safe and be careful. And when you see people like that again, just some people you can piss off simply by breathing. So go breathe somewhere else. Just, okay, it's one of them. And go, oh, okay, And just stay away from that rooster. And don't give him any pecans or watermelon. Dad was just being nice. Because Dad remembers chickens when he was a kid. And he loved chickens when he was a kid, and stuff. But I told him, you know how roosters are. I said, Dad, remember me with the... I was 6 years old and he attacked Patrice. Patrice was about 2. And Mom, with Dad went out there and he grabbed that rooster by the neck. Dad was so pissed, he snapped the neck off he just grabbed it, picked it up and went wham, real hard, right? And the head came right off. And then the chicken's body with blood was going everywhere, all across the pen. And I'm standing there in horror. Mom's over there looking at me because I was out there probably playing basketball at the basketball hoop, and the chicken coop was right near the basketball hoop. And Mom's sitting there. She goes, Earl, it's okay, Earl. I know. I knew the rooster was in trouble because he kept attacking Patrice when she'd go in there to get the eggs. Right, which chicken's going to do because she's 2 and she wants to do what grown-ups do. But the chicken's like, really? You're going to send the 2-year-old in here to get the eggs? Seriously? You better send the guy who can snap my neck, right? But she just wanted to be big, and she was coming in and doing that. So she's sitting there, and I'm standing there in horror, like when the pit bull that killed the chickens, and Dad shot which was like, I think a year later, or was it the year before? I don't recall. But so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh my God, the horror, blood just going all over the thing. The chicken danced around, seemed like eternity. It seemed like at least 20 or 30 seconds, And my mom sat there and explained to her, she goes, Earl, as soon as your dad snapped the chicken's head off, the chicken dies. And the brain is dying, and the body is just going on nerves. And because it's severed from its spinal column, it can't feel what's happening to it. So the chicken's already out of its misery. You're just seeing the nerve endings and what happens to the body after the brain's been severed from the spinal column. Right? That's what my mom tells me. And I go, oh, thanks. Boy, you're definitely not Sheldon's mom, are you? No. You're not Katie Seagal or the girl who plays Roseanne's sister in the bathroom on the Connors, right? My mom was a little bit different. Okay. And Mom hadn't gone to college yet. Okay? Yeah. She was one of those real fast burner students that, they married her and put her, and had her barefoot, pregnant. And, yeah, Catholic girls start much too late, yeah. And so, because my mom was in the 50s, and Dad was, Grandpa was this and that and stuff, and married her off to Steve Stack because he was a Stakovovich, and he would, take care of her, and she'd be a good, stuff. And so, yeah, Mom, she was really smart. Really smart, you know. But the thing about it is you don't need to go to college to manipulate people's bank accounts and science experiments to be able to be intelligent enough to understand what's happening with a chicken, how to show mercy to the chicken, and how you tell your kids, you know, if that's necessary. And then so I'm sitting there, and my dad brings out the rooster, and Mom says, you can go ahead. And I plucked it, and I sat there, I'm sitting there at 6 years old, pulling the feathers out of that chicken, going, that'll teach you to jump and attack my little sister. I'll teach you. I plucked that chicken good. Teach you to jump on two Tracy and jump on her back. He scratched her up real good, real bad. Yeah, he jumped on top of her back, and her dad was pissed. He got home. That rooster was dead before Dad even got out of the pickup truck. Shit. He marched straight to that chicken coop, walked up to that rooster. That rooster started getting all, he knew. And Dad just reached up, and he just reached down with one hand, you know, those construction working hands, and just whap! that head came right off. And I was like, damn. My mom used to say that about my dad. She goes, you don't play. You just hit, because he'd hit you, and oh, fuck. God damn. No, Dad's sadly annoying. Got nothing on Dad. Shit. Because, he'd punch you like in the shoulder. Hey, toughen up. Fuck. And Mom would go, you don't even... Damn, Ralph. I mean, he's crunch. Son of a bitch. And then what happened? I went to the park against a professional football player that cheated on picks. I played the whole game. Yeah. And they won, but they cheated. But I didn't go down once, and I didn't give up once. Yeah. And if it had been for, I want to date him, we won't let you. He can only, if he wins the basketball game. Oh, I'd have slugged Dan Salino in the nuts so fucking hard. Went and blocked his cousin's shot, and then went and dunked in both their faces and said, Kelly, come on, let's go. Okay. And Bishop's dad would have said, this is the guy that's going to teach you to be like Henry Cayuhui and Jesus Christ. Yes. And no more James Michener novels pretending we're not for money. Right. You got a Charlton Heston? I do. What about you, Vax Foncito? He played Jesus once in a movie. And Charlton Heston played Moses. Isn't that the same guy in spirit? Adam Moses, David Jesus John. And the hand of God and the voice of God. And you'll take my gun for my cold dead head. Hats off to Johnny Freedom. When we win this game, we'll buy a keg of booze and drink to the Aggies till we wobble in our shoes. And then what? Then we'll get drunk and piss on the Lobo at the practice facility in Albuquerque for money. Yeah. Then I'll make more money and go to Music City and got those Aiken Bulger backdoor blue. No, it's New York Music City Band. Oh. Getting my Johnny Rodriguez screwed up. I think I got my Johnny Rodriguez screwed up. I must think that was some other song. I got those Aiken Bulger City Backyard Blues. Yeah, that's on the same album with Music City Band, is it? Or no, is it on the third album? I don't know. I'll have to go look. I bet you Beyonce knows. If she knows who I am, she knows. If she doesn't know who I am, the hell's wrong with you? You could go brush up on your Johnny Rodriguez. 3 of the best albums ever made. Introducing Johnny Rodriguez, all I ever meant to do was sing, and my third album. Oh yeah, they're really good. Now Linda was right. We didn't get like the fourth award. We moved away, and Linda had a little boy named Gabriel and went to Deming, and then ended up in I got chills, they go to Playas. That's what me and Patrick used to say. And I'm losing control, because we used to like to go to Playas. He loved going to Playas. Well, Mike and Gabe were like his big brothers, and he loved James, and he liked going to the football games, and he liked doing all that. He loved going to the Aviars. Yeah, it was fun. It's one of his favorite trips. I'm like, you serious? Yeah. Patrick couldn't stand the pollution and the congestion and all the stupidity in Phoenix. He liked going to Playas because everything was quiet. The best Wi-Fi in the whole world. Cochise County. Yeah. He loved the Boot Hill country. He'd go out there and we'd go out and look at the stars at night. He loved going to the Cochise Stronghold. He loved going to he loved the Chiricahuas. We almost got in an accident looking at the sunset through the mountain. Yeah, and the people stopping. He liked going to Portal. And then the lady who I met, whose family was there, and the other one was from Lawrenceburg. Yeah, the two ladies that worked with me at Latch. One lady, she was cool. Yeah, her family owned that the Mercantile, where we had the chicken fried steak and and the other lady was from Lawrenceburg. And you mean in Lawrenceburg. Yeah, I remember we went to a truck stop and there was a gorgeous Mexican girl. She was almost like, take me away from here and give me my man. Like what happened, I think was her name Sandra Martinez. I can't remember. She's so pretty. One of the prettiest girls at Mayfield. And Lawrence took us to my brother's place, and me and Patrick were sitting there, and it was so cool. She was actually inquiring about my availability and who I was. And I think she probably might have already known. I don't know. It was just more like, is live in town and where's, and is that, and it was so cool because I was like, oh my gosh, she was one of the prettiest girls. Was it Karen or Sandy? She was one of the prettiest girls. I don't have I gave my yearbook to Peggy because it meant more to her, than it did to me because she never got one. She was poor. And so I gave her mine. But, because she talked about all the kids all the time and all of them. She went to school all the years with them. I only went there for 1 year, so I gave it to Peggy and stuff. But she was so pretty, and she was so nice, and she was inquiring to Lawrence about it. And he was like, well, he lives in Phoenix, but he's a single dad, and that's his son, Patrick. And she was looking like, oh my gosh, Patrick was the best chick magnet, and he was the best wingman in the history of wingmans. Oh, good gravy. No, we were nothing like, get the kid a Happy Meal. We were totally different. No, Patrick was suave, and even Amy at first loved him. I don't know, it was something with Barbara and Stephanie. I don't know what happened there. That was pretty fucked up because they got along great at first. John DeLay adored him. Deb loved him. Like all the girls loved him. Maria loved him. Myra and they all just, it's Patrick. They loved Patrick. He was a lot like, kind of looked a little bit like a young Orlando Bloom and his other, with a little bit of Hayden Christensen and stuff, and kind of like the kid from Made Manhattan. Only, Dad. What? Dad. What, son? My mom and all her friends at work do this in trouble. They get in trouble all the time watching Jerry Springer. I'm like, yeah, son. Yeah, but Dad. I'm like, no, Patrick, please. I have to work with these people, and they already think I'm a pretentious and obnoxious and arrogant, and I try not to be. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody intelligent on there, and it's not funny like cartoons. And I got Myra and Teresa sitting there yelling at the top of their lungs in the break room, out of the mouths of babes! And I'm like, yeah. And then I get that thing. Okay, he makes me feel stupid. Stephanie, he makes me feel stupid. My mother-in-law, Tricia, he makes me feel stupid. But the funny thing is like with Kay would fight me. Just like my brother-in-law, Lawrence. They'd fight me, No, you're wrong. You're stupid. No. Okay, when I can take your religion and dismantle it in 2 minutes or less, okay, and you try to attack my religious beliefs and you can't do it, and you've been working on it for 20 fucking years and say you like to argue, and the only reason you think you like to argue is because I'm nice to you. Like what happened at the Gilliards, they'd get that one-up goodie thing. And I'd tell Patrick that. I said, you don't want to. Why? Because they'll hate you if you actually participate. So you let them win, and then they rub it in your face, and it's like, yeah. And then you sit there and troll Patrick crazy. Still does. Yeah, I don't do it anymore. No. Well, because we have technology, and technology collects the evidence of our lives. And if you lie, and you let people front and lie on you, and you let that lie continue, people think they can get away with inventing linguistics that murder people over human invention, and that's wrong. Like I told the kid from New Mexico State in the aisle with the other kids, so I ran under a 4-flat 40 and jumped over 6. I started laughing. It's like, really? Okay. Boy, the Bush family sure don't like you, huh? You from Texas? Okay. You think they'd throw you under a bus to keep building libraries and having the wing dedicated to their CIA fucking relative? How many people do you think they would throw in front of a bus to keep using money to get people to kill over it and volunteer to die over it in Iran and Jordan and all across and in Guadalajara and Venezuela? Huh? 18 Americans died today. Greeks are dying because of Greek myths. And we're going to put Homer's real story on there and get the real truth out of Homer. A blind guy who told fantasy stories about the guy that, quote, kept him safe from the other guys that were bigger assholes than him, that go off raping, looting, and pillaging and coming back with their gold to build their fortune. So they can have a big house built by idiots that believe rocks are more valuable than a children's faithful, loving heart. Hi. Stream me on Hulu. I'm a Disney character. Ooby-doo. I want to be like you. Hoo-hoo. I want to walk like you, talk like you too. You know it's true. An ape like me can be human too. Teach me how to make a nuclear weapon, Mowgli. Come on. Yeah. And that's what happened to my father-in-law, Peter, and it was terrible. Because he would tell me all these things, how genius he was, and Amy would tell me how to. He built a nuclear weapon from studying the books by the time he was 13. Yeah. He just couldn't procure the uranium, like Sheldon's character on The Big Bang Theory. Why would you want to build a nuclear weapon? To scare the bullies that bullied you because you couldn't kick their ass and beat them at basketball and run under a flat 40, jump over 64 inches, do a Bruce Lee flip over the couch to keep a kitchen knife from going into your leg, and then avoiding the coffee mug straight at your head because she can clean up blood, but that's a hole in a brand new leather couch. Damn, Bob's house. Don't piss mom off or she'll throw a knife at you and a coffee mug too. Bob's house. A date that will go down in infamy. How infamous of you guys. Lim Allen's mother, man. Lim, I don't mind if you go out there and try to be famous, but do me a favor and don't become infamous. Like Adolf Hitler there. Yeah, and the people that signed the Patriot Act there, right, and invaded people's homes that were people that, were born what they considered famous, and I don't want to be famous. I just want you to live the Lord's Prayer so you can get the fuck out of my house and stop reading stories about my life written by assholes that have delusions of grandeur by trying to replace the glory of God with their ego and saying I did it. Listen back to cry. You do know that's all just a tribal illusion of not who you really are. You're the soul given life by the glory of grace that maintains the life of sacrifice through holy covenants, through loving a woman and loving your children. And far beyond this cold illusion, we may know eternity. Eternity is holy covenants and faithful love through worshiping God. Whoa! Why didn't Paul Twitchell, Darwin Gross, and Harold Klimp from his tipple in Minnesota explain this to him while you paid him $500 a year for a secret word to become a seventh initiate? Aku, you can have my secret word. It's for free. Okay. Aku, is that a boo? It's his cousin, right? The guy who works at the convenience store in Matt Groening's imagination. Right. You seen my imagination? He's a multimillionaire. Hey, how Futurama of you. Yeah, hey, that's Katie Seagal with one eye on her face. One eye. Don't you think she looks a lot better as Alice? I always was wondering about that. Like, what is wrong with you? She's not that bad. So she sits around and eats bonbons a tad bit. She likes to go shopping, but not too much. Okay, and she always wants to have sex. I was like, oh God, she's like my wet dream. I was like, okay, you don't want to go shopping too much and you don't want to keep me in debt too much, but as long as I keep having lots of sex with you after selling women's shoes all day, you'll be okay and listen to all my football stories? Where do I get a Peg Bundy? Right? You remember watching that show going, what is wrong with Al? What the hell is wrong with Al? He's a TV producer. He's a screenwriter. So, God dang, Katie would be, Peg would have been like, damn, or what? You look really good in those cheetah jeans and some things and stuff. Yeah. What do you do? Peg, house coat off, upstairs now. Kelly, bud, Dad has to fit some shoes or something. I don't know. I'll be back. What are you doing? I'm going to go wash your hair. I remember watching that show going, what is wrong with this man? He comes home, his wife sits there waiting for him. She doesn't do housework. It doesn't matter. She dresses real nice, she looks real nice, and she wants to have lots of sex with him. Yeah. What is wrong with Mr. Roper and Mr. Bundy? Maybe that's why they're serial killers. No, Mr. Roper's not a serial killer, but the Bundys are. Yeah, that was the whole joke, Ted Bundy was from Chicago, and they're the Bundys. Oh, that's hilarious. I know. Come watch 2020 and Dateline next week. We'll have Chris Hansen catch a predator. And it's a sting operation to keep you paying bills and deny the truth of the Lord's Prayer and act like the living spirit of the Messiah doesn't exist in New Mexico. It's not even a state. Well, it isn't a state. Yeah, it's a government estate. It's a military reservation where they have the best military Wi-Fi in the history of mechanization to manipulate everybody with transmissions from satellites. Yeah, they're dumb as fuck. I know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what old dingbat. I don't know if Trump knows what's going on. Nuclear assets in the Middle East and all that stuff. That's just to scare you guys with propaganda from Tales of the Crypt, from the Bible and the Quran and all that stuff about global warming and them thinking it's all nuclear warfare. No, the big thing now is quantum computing and data centers and AI to continue to have manipulation of people's brains while they sleep with Wi-Fi centers that constantly bombard you and never give you a chance to get up and go, hey, let's go to Playas, and there's no cell phone towers there. And the stars at night are big and bright, boom, 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 deep in the boot hill of New Mexico. Right? Way better. Yeah, the stars. Patrick's so right. Love's so right. Turn out to be so right. Dad, the stars in New Mexico are better than the stars in Arizona. Yeah, when you got pollution that kills people with cancer near the airports in Phoenix, and if you don't have to work at the job site, you could live in Portal, and we're living the Lord's Prayer. I'm going to find me a little corner. The rest of you guys, well, I know you, like my buddy, I can't remember his name, that worked with me, and I said, where would you want to go? And he said, with the bitchy ladies from Silver. Yeah, but not everybody from Silver is bitchy. Only a few are judged as a man by the group and a group by the man, or a woman for that matter. She acted more like a man. She thought so. She was a mean, bitchy woman. And I kept telling him, guys, you do know, like I told Stephanie Michael, I'm the most surveyed person in the country, in the world right now. And so don't do anything here that you wouldn't want your family to know you did till the end of time, right? It's basically what I told her. If you hire me, this is very serious. I am the most studied and surveyed. And she goes, no, we hired the lady that was selling, driver's license for IDs to illegal aliens, and she got fired and prosecuted. And I'm like, okay. And then she sat in that fucking office and hit on people online and looked for people to go, run around with. She would leave work and not go home and then go, what I mean, and do all this stuff. And her boyfriend would come and diss on me the way you talk to my wife. She doesn't call you husband, right? And then I would sit there and tell her that because her daughter was like, my mom's mean and she's bitchy. I know. And the nicest person to you is the boyfriend who she calls husband, and he calls, she calls boyfriend and he calls wife. Yeah, and then he disses me and sticks up for his wife because I tell him, I tell her about herself and tell her, you need to get the fuck off that thing. You need to come out here and help us to stop abusing these kids because you're sitting on your ass. That's basically. No, you need to quit it. And when I was working with Honey, the sweetheart, Xavier's mommy, yeah, she's sitting there going, Ralph, don't leave me here. I'm not. I will stay here until, until the rush is over. And she was such a sweetheart. But she was having ulcers because she worked in that career field, and she was a sweetheart. Yeah, she was Honey. Yeah, that song. Every time I hear that song, Honey, by the Delegation, I think of Honey, the little Filipino Xavier's mom, with the French fries, and we'd always make extra fries and give to Xavier when she picked him up from school. Xavier fries! We'd all save a big pile of fries for Xavier because we knew he loved them. Those weren't good old days, but there is good people, and you can survive those horrible days with the hearts of kind people. So do that, okay? All right, guys, I love you very much. The Dark Side of El Paso. Dark Side of El Paso is the fact that they can't see the light of day no matter how much he reaches out to them. Okay, guys, I love you. All right, peace out.